everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Falling Upwards. It's a Tuesday. We do record. I can't say the word record. I was saying to Maddie before we opened, I'm a bit hyper, so we're just gonna see where this episode goes. But we do record usually on Tuesdays. It's another Tuesday. How's everyone doing? And when I say how's everyone doing, I really mean the one other person in this recording, Maddie Armstrong. How's Maddie doing?
Only I can see, but the tendrils from my skull are all wet. Is that what a tendril is?
Yeah.
Let me Google tendril. Oh, no, Oh, yeah.
Tendrils?
Yeah, tendrils, definitely. Yeah, they're all soggy because I just got out of the shower after being on hold with the doctors for 40 minutes.
It's going to be
How's everyone else's Tuesday going?
It's going to be a fun episode, guys.
Let us know.
Shall we jump straight into mad news?
Yeah. And Emma has something interesting.
For today's mad news, this is something that's literally just happened, and I was like, instead of Maddie always bringing something to the table, and obviously the point of mad news is that we get to hear the joy of Madeline Armstrong's mind for 5 to 10 minutes, as you all just kind of,
The full name.
Yeah.
The full government name.
Yeah, until you all bed yourselves in, you all kind of settle in to listen to the main segment, you get to listen to her brain. But I thought today, actually, there's something that I would love to bring to Maddie.
Ooh.
And we can hear her thoughts. So as some of you may or may not know, every so often on my Instagram, I host, little AMAs when I'm in the mood. I've somehow got into like a little debate with someone. It's not someone I know personally, it's just a follower, about if hippos or sharks are scarier animals.
Oh.
And because they asked me, like, what's like scariest animal? And I said hippos / Komodo dragons. And you know how I feel about hippos.
Mm.
And they replied back with, why not sharks?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't hang out in the ocean, so it's not like I'm worried about sharks all the time. And just before we started recording, they replied, but do you hang out near hippos?
Now that is a good question.
And
they've got you there.
Well, I'd love your thoughts, Maddie.
Thing is,
hippos or sharks?
You're taking a very like realistic left-brained. Oh no, is it right-brained? The logical approach to it. But there was a flaw in your logic, as pointed out by this anonymous questioner. Look, despite the massive mouths that crush watermelons in those lovely Instagram reels we all watch, hippos are quite cute. Look at their little circular ears and their just funny little faces. Have you ever seen a baby hippo?
They are very cute, yeah.
Adorable. On the flip side,
yes,
sharks can also be quite cute.
Yeah. But what about the baby shark song? That's also cute, No. So you would still call sharks scarier? You think that anonymous person is correct? Here was my logic. I was like, if there is a possibility, if you wanted, if you needed to send a dangerous animal to your worst enemy, you can send a hippo or a Komodo dragon because they are land creatures. I know it would be very expensive to do.
You can't just...
But you could do it. Whereas you couldn't do that with a shark because the sharks have to be... All I have to do to avoid your threatening creature that you've sent to hurt me is not be near the ocean. Whereas with a hippo, you can put a hippo anywhere. Hippos are being land things. You could drop a hippo in my garden tomorrow.
What about a chimp? I find them quite frightening.
Really? Why?
Well, there's been stories of them just going a bit mad and being very violent.
Really?
And I just find them very scary.
I think what we're getting from this is we just need to let animals be, don't we?
Yes.
So can we go all the way back to this question, this person's question? What is the scariest animal? Do you think chimps?
I'm a visual learner, so I need to just... Because a lot of people are frightened of snakes. Snakes are beautiful. If it's a certain type of snake, they can really cause damage, but at least they're beautiful. Chimps, on the other hand, they're both scary looking and they can also, tear you apart, yeah. So I would say chimps.
You'd go for chimp. There we go. I mean, people listening, feel free to let us know what you think the scariest animal is. We've gone for this one person asking that question to our whole debate segment. Alrighty, so now by this point, we all hope that you've kind of settled in, you've done whatever bed arrangements you need to be able to relax, listen to the main segment, because we have a wonderful main segment today with a wonderful guest. It's Alec Benjamin, the fantastic music artist. As we always say during these segments, if you need a moment to pause to just check him out, look up his Instagram, go on Spotify or Apple Music or Tidal or whatever you use just to see who he is, go do that. He's fantastic. And because we managed to get him on the lawn but not live, as per some of our other episodes, you will be listening to Maddie reacting to his wonderful words of wisdom.
Congratulations on a fab set.
No, thanks.
How's your jet lag?
I don't really have so much jet lag, but we've been flying every day at 5 a.m. and this is our third or fourth show in a row, so I just haven't slept in a few days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are you doing okay? Feeling
I'm
alright?
okay.
Hydrating, napping?
I'm trying. I'm going to have a good sleep tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's it like performing to a massive crowd while slightly sleep deprived then?
It was really cool. Yeah, it was fun to play for everybody. I think that you get so much adrenaline when you get up on stage that even if you're really tired, I think that kind of goes away for a little bit. But it's better to not be sleep deprived. If I had a choice, I'd have slept.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was really good. Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
I feel that so hard because pretty much every concert or festival I've ever been to, I've been knackered during, but it just goes away, if you are sleep deprived and you're at home or you're just working your usual job, you are exhausted, but somehow if you're sleep deprived, you haven't slept in 2 days, somehow you can just get through it. The good vibes and the adrenaline just gets you through it, and you can actually have such a good time. So I feel for the guy, but I also completely understand. The energy of that day was just so lovely, and he did do a fantastic job on the stage.
For context, when Maddie's talking about being tired, it's because she's shooting the concert. She is working too.
Yeah, but also we do sleep quite late.
That's true.
You and I, Emily.
That is true. When he talks about being sleep deprived, I mean, as just a spectator on the day, he, his music is very chill, beautiful music, but he definitely didn't come across like that. As someone who was genuinely close up to where he was, what were the vibes?
He didn't seem sleepy. He just seemed fully refreshed, prepped and ready. Alec Benjamin, That was what I would expect.
That's why he's a master at what he does, isn't it?
That's why he's where he is. Yeah.
Since the release of the new album, is this your first kind of interaction with a UK crowd in person?
Yeah, it is, and I can't wait to come back and do my own headline show. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you were, just a couple of questions about the new album.
Sure.
When you were crafting it, and now obviously getting to perform songs from it, has the reception to some of those songs been what you envisioned at the time when you were writing the songs?
I don't know. I haven't played them enough yet, so I'm not really sure. But I feel like they're going over pretty good. I'm pretty insecure and self-conscious, so I don't really know yet.
Okay.
I think I feel I have in the songs that I have played a lot, I feel very comfortable because I know them well. They feel more like home, and these ones not so much yet. So I feel really awkward playing them. Yeah, that's just how I feel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we'll see.
I know that you speak some Mandarin.
It's okay. You speak Mandarin?
You probably speak better Mandarin than I do.
Test me.
Well,
We're going to China pretty soon, though.
Oh, yeah?
Cool. Yeah, I go to China in a week.
I'm sorry.
Are we pausing? What's up?
I'm sorry. Where has this come from?
He speaks Mandarin.
What was not that there's any reason why you shouldn't, but usually there's a reason.
So his father, who is a doctor, incorporated elements of Chinese culture into some of his work, and he was very inspired by that. And so he clearly has made the effort to learn a bit of Mandarin, and he's done collabs with Mandarin-speaking artists,
Wow.
which is amazing and very cool.
That's so cool. I mean, that is cool.
A friend of mine that's a bit of a fan, before we came out, said that apparently he's super, super popular in China for that reason, which again is very cool.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a direct quote. So he says, "My dad is in integrative medicine. He is a medical doctor, but he also does acupuncture and he does stuff with Eastern medicine. So that's one of the reasons that I got into it." So I'm just quoting that from CL Tampa Bay, where he did an interview with them and he said that. And it's just very cool that he's kept doing it. He's kept showing that kind of love for the culture.
That's still, even with that reason, it's still fairly interesting. Like, just his dad himself to learn those methods, but also choose to learn the language. Because you can learn some methods, but not learn the language. But I think that's a very nice way to immerse yourself. And I think some things, no matter how well you learn it, it's always going to be best if you're fully immersed, if you fully understand how the people where it originated from say it with their own words, you know?
That's very much a testament to the thoughtfulness that I think comes through in a lot of his music. Do you not think as well? The idea that it's not just, okay, I got a bit interested by Chinese culture, so actually I'm going to really get into it. I'm going to spend time with it. And it feels like for anybody who has listened to his music, always let us know what you think as well. But as both of us have listened to his music, I think it is very, very pensive and very thoughtful, and that probably bleeds into everything he does, doesn't it?
I mean, he's got a lovely voice, but I love the way his words sort of work together. And maybe the language aspect has helped that. I think knowing one language, anyone can get by just fine. But if you know a second language, at least to some degree, it does, I believe anyway, that it does kind of freshen your brain up a bit.
Yeah.
It helps you to be more open-minded in a lot of aspects.
Yeah, and the fact that I suppose as well, when he's wanted to collab with Mandarin-speaking artists, it's not just been, oh, okay, well, I'll keep my section as it is in English, and because you're a Mandarin-speaking artist, you can do your bit in Mandarin. He's committed to the bit, hasn't he? Where he's gone, well, if I'm collabing with you properly, I can show that respect by creating a fully Mandarin version of my sections, which is lovely.
That's so cool.
We go to Beijing, Guangzhou, Shenzhen. We go to like a million different places, so I'm excited.
I know you've really cultivated time for your fans in China.
I've tried.
And how's that process been for you?
I'll let you know. I feel like the final part of the feedback loop is going and playing live, so it's hard to know like what the impact is until you actually like boots on the ground, but we'll find out.
What's the interaction online been from your fans around the world?
Lately I've been spending less time on the internet, so
okay.
I don't really know. Yeah.
Is that a choice for your sanity?
Yeah, because I can't handle it. Like, I'm not like equipped to handle the internet. It's too much stimuli for me, and I don't know what to make of it, and so I have to protect myself.
So even though, some artists that know they do have a massive global audience, they do start writing kind of with that in mind, knowing that their songs are going out to, people maybe from a completely different background. Is that something you ever do, or do you actually try not to do that on purpose?
Well, I feel like I've always wanted. I just write the songs that are in my heart, and I hope that they resonate with people. And as much as I try to be somebody else or write with other people in mind, I can't really help but be myself. So I always end up being me. So yeah, I've tried to be other people. It'd be nice to be other people. It'd be cool to be like, I don't know, who's cool right now? Post Malone's pretty cool. I'd like to be him, but I'm not. I'm just not him. So
Alec's cool as himself, though. He doesn't have to be someone else.
Right?
Alec's a cool boy. Yeah.
Right? He's very cool. I hope that he's loved for himself.
Yeah. No, he sounds... I feel like an interview like this, you could easily autopilot, but, I mean, not only are your questions very good, but I do think he's really trying to answer, despite being that tired.
That tired.
Yeah. Yeah, and he just sounds like really sweet, he's laughing and stuff.
He does come across as a very sincere soul, doesn't he?
Yeah, I love that. And it comes off in his music, I think. Yeah. I like his take on social media. I think that was so real, Like I could not if I were famous, I think I'd do the same. I just cannot imagine staying up to date with things, seeing stuff about you from like complete strangers. Like, oh, that would like freak me out so much.
Yeah. Anybody loads and loads of people at different points with social media have probably gone, oh, I'm gonna take a break, and then they'll do the whole, I guess you've seen celebs do this, right, where they'll be like, oh, for my mental health I need to just take a break for a bit or whatever, which, by the way, I'm a firm believer that they shouldn't have to do. Like, if you need to take time off, just do it. You don't owe someone an explanation to take time off. But what really stood out to me, even just talking to him at the time and then now hearing it back, is that idea that he's so self-aware of his personal boundaries and what he feels that he can or can't handle and what is or isn't safe for him to be like the best version of himself. So it's not even that he went, I'm gonna take a break right now, or I take breaks every so often. Like, he knows how much he can handle and what he can handle.
Yeah, I feel like most people aren't that aware of what is good for them.
Yeah, or sometimes like we don't realize until it happens to us.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So he's definitely in a good space. Definitely got a good brain there. Yeah.
How do you feel your songwriting and your storytelling process has evolved over time then?
I think the things I write about have actually stayed pretty similar. I look back through my catalog and I find a lot of similarities. But how it's evolved, I mean, my process has evolved in that, like, I try to be more regimented in how I write songs as opposed to just writing like when I feel inspired, because when you're doing it for a job, it's like if someone is working for a company, they can't just not go into work because they don't feel inspired, like, and I've tried lately to not give myself that option. Like, when I made this album, like, I didn't want to make it, but I knew I had to make it because there was stuff that I had to say, and it didn't matter how I was feeling, I needed to go to the studio. So I didn't used to be so good at that, and I'm not good at it all the time, but I've gotten better. Yeah.
So say going into 12 Notes then, did you go in knowing instantly what the concept and the line of the album would be?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I just made
just let it happen.
I just made as many songs as I could, and I was like, well, here we go. Right? Like, that's what I had to do. I have like a contract with a label, and they like want music. They're like, make music, and so I did.
Do you ever have songs where you look back on it and you're like, gosh, why did I write that? Any in particular? Or do you very much have convictions where it's like, even if I hate it now, I know why I had to write it?
Yeah, I have that all the time, but it made sense to me in the moment when I made it, so there must be something about it that's true. Yeah.
For fans that don't know any Alec Benjamin music, what 3 songs would you recommend them to start off with, and why?
Well, I would tell you guys to start off with I Sent My Therapist to Therapy, because I like that song. I would say listen to Jesus in LA, and then listen to Let Me Down Slowly. Just because those are the first ones that came to my brain.
Good song. Like, not only are they big songs of his, so I feel like the big ones are the good ones to get into an artist, but they are good. Like, when I was thinking about when I was talking about the way he sort of puts his words together, Let Me Down Slowly, that was a very popular song, but it's a very well put together song, you know? So that one I definitely would recommend. He's got a good work ethic, you know? I think some artists, everyone's different. And it is good to do stuff when you feel inspired, but some will just take forever and ever, you know, to feel that inspiration, or, you know, say they will, but then they end up never making anything and they're just living off the cash of their previous albums. But Alec is like, no, I've got to make this album, so I'm gonna just sit down. Because sometimes ideas come to you that way anyway. Sometimes you can't just sit and wait. Sometimes you actually have to put your brain in think mode. And then a great idea comes. And it's still a good idea, even though it didn't come a completely natural inspiration, you know? So I think these different work styles are all valid, but this clearly works for Alec because he's got such lovely songs.
Yeah, it very much comes across that he is just a very true songwriting talent, isn't it? It's just in him to be making and creating and writing like this, which is very beautiful.
Something that we always kind of look at as well is the amount of pressure that is kind of put on young people today to be perfect, to kind of not fail. So with that in mind, do you have a favorite failure?
My favorite failure? Yeah, I got dropped from my label when I was like 19. That was a pretty big fail. I've asked girls out on dates and they've said no, and I'm not sure what hurts worse, getting dropped from my label or getting turned down by someone that you like. But I've failed, and I feel like this interview is like a success. So that's good at least. You know, I don't know. I don't have a favorite failure. But that's a great song title, so I might take that.
Maybe no,
yeah.
please.
That was just so... 19 though, dropping from the label. That must have been rough. How old is he now?
I am not sure. I appreciate that he equated being dropped from his label on the same level as being rejected by girls that he's asked out.
Yeah.
He's 30.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't look 30. Oh my goodness.
No, he's got like a really youthful, mousy sort of face.
Youthful face.
Like
he's got good genes.
He looks like a rodent, but in a cute way, not in a scrawny way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because some celebrities, people will be like, he looks like a rodent, but they mean it in like a mean way, like you're a rodent man.
No,
but Alec
did you not
is like...
hear? Apparently, my friend told me, apparently it's the summer of the rodent celebrity boyfriend. I don't follow celebrities for anyone who listens, but I do have friends that update on this, so I just have to trust that they're telling the truth.
So
she said apparently it's the summer of the rodent celebrity boyfriend, which I did not
I've got
know.
some names for you. So we've got Timothy Chalamet.
Okay.
We've got that dude from Challengers. I mean, they both could be, but the blonde one is more rodent.
Sure.
He is pretty though. And then Alec is definitely, but like that's rodent in a good way. That's the good kind of rodent.
Okay. What's the vibe? Why have people gone for this vibe?
Trends come and go. You know, beauty standards come and go. It's attributed by a prominent but still small jawline. So like Timothy Chalamet, he's got kind of a short head. So while he's got a very strong jawline, he's not got like the Chad jawline where it's like really large and deep. Do you know what I mean?
Is that like the handsome Squidward one that I've seen? Okay, sure.
But he's also got like these sort of very pretty long eyelashed eyes, you know, this like ear length wavy hair, and then the small but slightly pointy nose. And I think those are the features that are attributed to it.
Sure. So see, Alec, it's enough for you to be you. You're in good company with all these other much loved men.
Yeah, he's
so
in
never
the trend.
not be you. But very different failures. Very different failures.
Yeah, but I understand them being on the same level because like everyone in the world no matter how high up you are, how fancy you are, and whatever title you have, everyone has their deep desires in their heart. So that makes a lot of sense to me. Everyone has a heart.
Yeah.
So I think that's very sweet that it's on the same level, and I understand.
Is failure always an experience that you think is a learning curve? Like, what does failure mean to you?
Well, you don't have to learn from it. I feel like a lot of people make the same mistakes all the time.
Yeah.
So I feel like learning from it is a choice, right? And you have to be like lucid enough to know that the failure is a failure and that it's, you know, your responsibility. And that you're the only one that can change it. So what was the question?
What does failure mean to you?
What does it mean to me? I don't know. I've never failed. I'm perfect.
Just never fail.
Yeah.
Just be perfect.
What does failure mean to me? It means an opportunity. To fail means to unlock a new opportunity.
Nice.
You know who said that shit?
Nice. I like that.
That was Confucius.
No, it's good.
Confucius said that.
Did he?
I don't know.
Okay. We'll quote it. Confucius, Alec Benjamin. That's great.
The last thing left is the sign-off message. We'll leave it there.
I'm sorry, I love that response so much. Like, the joke about him being flawless, excellent joke. We always welcome those. Because obviously all our guests are just perfect and amazing. Because this is a perfect and amazing podcast run by perfect and amazing women. But no, I loved what he said about... Okay, you don't need to love it that much, Maddie. But I loved what he said about not having to learn from every failure. Because, like, isn't that so true? He's got such a real perspective. This man has such a good brain. Good brain, Alec. That's the verdict from me today.
Good brain, big heart, much soul.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what we're taking from this.
That's what you
It's
want from a
lovely.
musician.
And I also like that he, when he said that quote to me at the time, I was like, this is just a great quote. And then I was responding to that. And then I heard him go, oh, did you know who it was? It's Confucius. And I was like, wait, what? Is it? Also, he could have just stuck to that and I would have absolutely believed him. I would have been like, sure. Because he said it is. I believe you. I mean, do you know that episode of The Office where it's like, where Michael, like whenever Michael Scott quotes someone, Michael Scott played by Steve Carell, whenever he quotes someone, he'll like quote the fact that he's quoted that person.
Yeah.
So the quote could be like, do you know what I mean? I feel like that's why I was like, it could be, you know, if it's Confucius, quote Alec Benjamin, why not?
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on the lovely Alec Benjamin? And of course, stay tuned for his sign-off message. We wouldn't let this episode end without an Alec Benjamin sign-off message. But do you have any other thoughts on the lovely Alec Benjamin before we jump into the exchange?
Great performer plus great brain equals amazing musician. And that's all you need in 2024.
Everyone go check out his music if you haven't already. Now, it's the final segment. As you're wrapping up, you know, you've been listening, you want to drift off, but, you know, you're just giving yourself a bit of space. It's the exchange. Cha-ching.
Ka-ching.
And now, time for the exchange with the wonderful Alec Benjamin.
We have something called The Exchange, where we get all our guests to kind of share something that they are loving right now, just because, not because it's a side hustle, nothing like that.
Yeah.
What would
do I
you
love?
like to
Could be
contribute to?
anything?
Yeah, anything.
I'm really loving my family right now. I feel like you should love your family because you don't know what the future holds. And loving your family is the best thing you can do.
That's lush.
That's beautiful.
Adorable.
A lovely thing when a couple of episodes ago, Jay mentioned his family was, of course, a lot of it is his found family. It's not, you know, his biological family, because for anyone who has listened to the episode, they'll know that he's been through it a lot, somewhat. So with this, you know, Alec clearly also loves his family, whether that's his biological family or his found family or both, which is a lovely thing. Spend time with your family while you can.
Yes.
Time goes fast.
It does.
Do you find as you've become older that the way you appreciate and love your family has changed, Maddie?
No. Because I've always loved my mum, you know? Like, I've always been this annoying, clingy daughter. So I'm literally just the same. I will annoy her by how clingy I am sometimes.
Do you feel that you do, like, the things that you do to express your love has manifested in a different way?
Not in a different way, but maybe just in more ways. Like, I'm still always huggy, but
Yeah.
I try and always, because when I work at the cafe, I try and get my mum a free cake or something, you know? I try and get her something, or help her around the house more. I've honestly just been spoiling her with lots of treats, to be honest with you, like buying chocolate from the local shop. Just a lot of stuff like that.
See, when I was little, you know, sometimes you make like these little like clay trinkets or whatever with Play-Doh. And I'll be honest, I used to love making those, like, for my mum.
Aww.
I don't make those anymore. So it has
Make
evolved.
one,
I
MA.
don't make
That's
I don't
devolved.
make Play-Doh trinkets.
You have devolved.
I don't make Play-Doh.
Make your mum a clay trinket.
Okay, I'll do that. Before we obviously get into Alec's magical sign-off message, Maddie, what is your sign-off message for the episode?
Get into your rodent men.
Do you have any personal recommendations, or just rodent men in general? Or are we bigging up Alec here, and are we saying just get into Alec Benjamin?
Well, I mean, you want to get into his music, not just because he's a pretty man.
Of course, with a good soul and a good brain.
So I say, yeah, let's focus on Alec today.
Alec Benjamin. Get into Alec Benjamin's music.
Yeah.
And all of those things. My message will be, let's just let the animals live well, and we don't need to bother them.
Yes.
Cool. And Alec Benjamin to sign us off.
Hey, I'm Alec Benjamin. My message to you is be kind to yourself if you can. That's it.
It's a nice wholesome message.
Yeah.
That's a good message.
Yeah.
Lush. Well, I hope you get a bit of a nap
I'm
at
gonna
some
try,
point.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
You too.
You heard it here. Go listen to Alec Benjamin.
Yeah.
And thanks again for listening to Falling Upwards.
Bye-bye.